Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of What's Your Issue? It's me, Dara, Laine, and who do we have over here? Mister. Who are you, sir?
Hey, I'm Dara, Laine.
What? We can't both be.
If you're Dara, Laine, that means I can't be Dara, Laine. My name is Troy McEady. Hi.
How are you, Troy?
I'm the best I've been in a while.
Oh, my poor king.
I almost died this week. But hey, who didn't?
Who didn't? We're all trying to survive one day at a time.
Yeah, we're all dying in some way or another right now.
We're dying since the day we were born, baby.
Yeah. Well, I had a rough couple weeks, to say the least. But I'm back.
You're back? You're better than ever?
Yes. How are you?
Oh, I'm good. I'm actually in my childhood bedroom right now. Though I guess you wouldn't know it. It's like a gray wall behind me and like an ugly chair from the, probably mid 80s. I don't know.
Yeah.
It doesn't look like
that was some lady's knitting chair at some point in life.
Yeah. It's not this backdrop is not giving childhood bedroom, but I had to angle the camera in such a way because, well, I mean, it looks like a teenager's bedroom in here, just like everything is thrown everywhere. So I was like, gotta find a little corner.
Do you have any posters on your wall still?
Oh my God. Okay. So my room, the way it is now, it's when I got back from college and was living with my parents for like a year. Mm-hmm. So during that time, I watched like all of Law and Order SVU and just like redid it into an adult's room because before, and I wish I still had it this way before, it was modeled off of Bridget Marquardt's room at the Playboy Mansion.
Wow, of course it was.
Of course. And instead of stripes, it was polka dots because stripes seem too hard to paint evenly. So there's not really like posters per se, but there is a 2011, let's see if we could see it. There is a gallery wall here. We got that going.
Oh, wow.
And then another corner of my room, there is like an art project picture of it's Tina Fey, and it's from an Entertainment Weekly she was in, and she's dressed up like Audrey Hepburn in Breakfast at Tiffany's, and I cut out her silhouette in that, and then I put like a glitter paper behind it and framed it.
That's very trading. It's very Hildy of you. Very trading spaces.
Exactly. This bedroom is frozen in time in a way that is. Oh, also, I have 1 million postcard headshots.
Oh my! If you guys are not on the video,
you gotta see it.
Oh my God! I've just been presented with a headshot straight out of Scream. You're giving Maureen Prescott during your acting days.
You're so right.
I am dead. Wow, you're so blonde. My God.
I'm blonde as hell.
Jeez.
I'm blonde and tan to the gills.
I don't know her. Like, I have no idea who that lady is. I don't know that lady.
I'll just like leave it up like this.
She's a conservative Christian.
Right? Isn't it insane? With like the white top, the whitest teeth you've ever seen.
You look like Anna's character in True Blood.
Oh my God, you're right.
Like
oh God, and it also has my current phone number, so I will have to block that out.
You look like you're about to message me and say that you have a group of women that are very supportive that you want me to join.
Yeah,
to sell essential oils.
Exactly.
That is amazing. Wow, that is like really iconic. God, I wish I had my childhood bedroom to go to. Shit.
Oh yeah, there's some treasures in here, you know.
That is amazing. I really honestly, I think that every millennial has some sort of like, we did at least one weird thing from HGTV, whether it was
Yes.
Trading Spaces or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Some of us went like full crazy Hildy. Some of us painted a chocolate wall or, stapled hay to our wall or
Oh, yeah.
something. Like the way that I was like, no, wait, a circus tent in the living room does
Yeah.
make sense. Oh, shit.
What else would you put in the living room? My God, it's called
Besides sand,
whimsy.
I love the beach.
This is all. My room has also become a dumping ground for just knickknacks throughout my parents' house.
Yeah.
And I just realized at this moment when I was just kind of putting everything together lighting wise, which I don't even know why I bothered because I only have my laptop camera, so it's like 350 pixels. But I looked around and I realized there's no less than 10 lamps in my room at this moment.
Oh, that's nice. Now that's luxury.
On every surface, there is a lamp.
Now that what I would give for that, for the soft lighting of a bulb lamp, please.
There's also 2 salt lamps.
Yeah. Do you feel zen because of that?
Oh, fuck yeah.
I feel it. I feel it from across the country.
Look at that soft gold lighting.
Nothing like a wire bowl of salt rocks.
All right, Troy. With all that fun and games we got out of the way, now it's time to get down to business. Troy, what's your issue?
Well, my issue is the July 1992 issue of Interview magazine titled Splendor in the Grass, featuring Drew Barrymore, photographed famously by Bruce Weber. Yeah, this is a lot. There's a lot to talk about with this. We got a request actually to talk about this issue.
From did we?
A listener.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Oh my God, you're right. They asked about it in a rating, in a 5-star rating on Apple Podcasts.
Yes. So we are giving the people what they want. And ironically, Dara and I have been talking about doing this issue since starting the show.
Yes.
It's time. Like, this is just truly one of the craziest magazine covers I think that's ever existed.
It really is. Now, I guess we should say specifically why before we get all into it. But I mean, these are very sexy photos being taken of a Troy, shall you say the number? The age?
Drew is a fresh 17 in these photos. And they are something else. It's like, I guess, classic Bruce Weber. It's like, they're beautiful photos. They are
incredible.
Absolutely stunning. I mean, jaw-dropping. But much like with many of Bruce's photo shoots, shall we say, he loves to like push the boundaries and like he's a creep. Like Bruce Weber is a certified bona fide creep, and look no further than his photo shoots with famous people when they're underage.
Are there any think pieces out there about this? Because I feel I just did like a cursory Google and nothing popped up right away of like, like a 2016 to 2020, like, hey, this was wrong. I didn't see any of those. Have you seen anything like that?
No, and you would think that there would be more just given like where people are now with Bruce Weber. Like you would think that people would have gone back and looked at some of his more famous photo shoots and been like, that was crazy. You see the same ones that kind of pop up a lot when people talk about him like being a creep and like, it's always like the boys. It's always like Leo, him, and I think I'm pretty sure he did River Phoenix and Keanu Reeves. They always bring up the boys, but it's like, yeah, he also has a photo shoot with Drew Barrymore where it's basically like an orgy.
Yeah. I mean, it feels very it feels very like 60s Playboy to me, honestly.
Yeah, it's very grotto.
Yes.
So, a little context. The Interview magazine interview is posted on Interview's website in their vault, which they keep a pretty cool like vault of like old interviews and stuff. But they curate it and they kind of edit the articles to make them more modern. And they removed the whole interview basically and just kept like a few little chunks of it. And I haven't read the full one. I think I have the physical copy sitting here somewhere, but Dara just sent me the actual full interview. So reading it in full context, that was very interesting. Like what they chose to take out and stuff too.
Yeah. What now that you have both sides, like what do you think they really took out? Like I don't know that much of the interview is that damning outside of
No.
her just being 17, but I feel like maybe people kind of just like don't want the context at all of the time period. Like I wonder if it's about not dating it essentially.
I could totally see that. Yeah, because it's not like a tawdry
No.
interview by any means. I mean, I guess the most like, if you would say like salacious things she talks about is, you know, like some lesbianism stuff in Poison Ivy, which is a movie that's like very new or has just come out when this interview came out. She talks about her book about
Mm-hmm.
going to rehab as a kid. Like, you
Little
know, it's
girl
all
lost.
Little Girl Lost. It's stuff that we all know, but oh, I just think like there's so many interesting times in Drew Barrymore's life that you could talk about her. Like she's interesting as a little girl. She's interesting as a full-fledged woman when she starts like her production company. And I mean, every era of her life is fascinating. But this year specifically,
Mm.
92, I would almost say that this is like her most interesting year, I think, to like go back and read about.
Yeah, because it's essentially her comeback from like going to rehab and her brief it was like 13 years old she goes to rehab, and then it's like 13 to 16 she's kind of rudderless through the world, and then at like 16, 17 she gets the movie, the TV show, and she's back. She's Lolita girl.
Yeah. And she's such a rare comeback story, even for the 90s. It's like, if you think about, you know, she was being written about compared to Corey Feldman because
Mm-hmm.
they had dated. And it's like, to think that there's a world where Drew Barrymore, people were wondering if she would end up exactly like Corey is just mind blowing.
Well, especially because it's crazy to think that she didn't. Like
Yeah, she should have.
I can't believe she's alive. Um I was talking to you earlier off mic about a TV Guide interview with Drew,
Oh, yeah.
that I saw Karina Longworth talking about. And there is a couple interesting things as that as well to give context as far as just how, if you don't know fully her background about the drug use, it says they kind of date it for you. Now, Drew prefaces this with her mother knew absolutely nothing about what I was doing. And at age 9, she had her first drink. She began smoking marijuana at 10 and snorting cocaine at 12. By age 13, Drew had undergone extensive drug and alcohol treatment and had gone public. Among the first teen celebrities to break the AA tradition of anonymity, an act that usually hinders successful recovery. She fell off the wagon again and again. But her mom had no idea that her 9-year-old was drinking, smoking weed, and snorting coke. She had
I
no
mean,
idea.
just given what we know about Hollywood now, she was so failed. Like,
It's insane.
she was so failed by everybody around her. And the fact that, like, I don't know, I just find it to be so frustrating to go back and read, like, her old interviews about rehab and stuff, because it's like the nerve of these people to put the responsibility on her for her addictions and like, you know, it's just like and then to be like, can she earn our trust back? Like, can she earn her spotlight back? Is she still marketable? She's like, it's like Poison Ivy. Thank God that movie did kind of save her and gave her the fire she needed to like get more stuff going. But even that in itself is like, for her to have had to come back as like an underage, like nymphomaniac weird thing, and like that was how she got back in the good graces of people, was like tantalizing them sexually, and like it's just really sick. Like, I don't know, it makes me sick to my stomach.
And I also think that the way that people put it on her, as it, like you said, it essentially being her fault, that she it feels insane to even call her a drug addict. It's like, yes, physically you became addicted to alcohol and cocaine or whatever, but really you're a child who, like, adults are giving that to you. That is not like a choice. You don't even know how to contextualize like what you're doing. But I was watching her when Paris Hilton was on her show, and Paris was talking about the wilderness camp for wayward teens. And Drew, of course, was like, "Oh, I went to those too, blah, blah, blah." And I remember Drew was basically saying it, like, yeah, it was kind of abusive, but in the end, it was really helpful towards her and she needed it. She was essentially like a bad kid and she needed to be put in her place. And I think she has some awareness, obviously, that this is more like about her mother and all the adults failing her, but it still seems like she has a lot of responsibility that she still has for herself, when it's kind of just like, this, I don't know, this in no way should be something that you take on.
I mean, I think you just said a mouthful, because I think she carries that like to this day, like throughout her whole life. It's like she has these sort of these like rose-colored glasses about everything. Like, the way she can kind of romanticize her childhood and romanticize her experiences and her relationships with people like Steven Spielberg and stuff. It's like, Steven Spielberg knew that you were at Studio 54 doing cocaine with Andy Warhol. Like, I get the whole like, oh, he's my dad. Like, he sent my Playboy cover with like clothes digitally put on it. And it's like, so what? Like, I don't know. Like, I just think, and maybe that's like a protection thing. Maybe that's like her version of disassociation to like get through it. And, even in the beginning of this article, they talk about how she just has this like unbreakable fearlessness and like vulnerability. Like, she's too vulnerable, she's too open, she's too kind, she's too trusting. It's just in her nature, I guess. But it is, I wouldn't say that it's frustrating, because it's her experience and it's how she's chosen to deal with it. But it's like, I think it's like almost like people are always waiting for her to have like that aha moment. And it doesn't really happen. And like, when she talks to other celebrities about their abuse and stuff, it's just weird the way she frames it.
It really is weird. And in the TV Guide article as well, she says, "Oh, my mom had no idea that any of this was happening," which is also, I feel like at this point, she maybe doesn't stick to that company line, because I'm pretty sure she was partying with her mother. But she doesn't explain this at all in the interview, where she talks about how she gets out of rehab and her family abandons her. Like, she's bouncing around from couch to couch from the ages of like 13 to 16 before she gets the next job. And did you know this? For a year, she lived with David Crosby and his wife, and they kept her sober.
Is that in her book? Is that in
it's gotta be.
What's it called? Flower
Child?
Flower Child?
Is it that? I think so. Well, there's Little Girl Lost. Is there another one?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Wildflower. Hello.
Wildflower. Of
Wildflower.
course.
Yeah, hello. Yeah, I did know that. And I just like I would almost venture to say that she may go through her entire life not knowing that her friendships were abusive.
Mm-hmm.
Not to say that that one was, but just like in
Yeah.
general, like men that she thought were just like kind or father figures, or like I would imagine that Drew Barrymore just does not possess the ability to understand those discern. I really do. And I think that's really sad. It's almost like she's the last to arrive to the party or something. And like,
Yeah.
you know, and it's crazy because she's clearly done the work. She also doesn't owe it to us to like name names and all that stuff or
Of
whatever, you know?
course.
But
And
it is just
yeah.
odd.
It's odd. And the thing with her, whenever anybody has something, you know, like bad to say or weird to say about her, like, oh, she's nuts. Like, I do just think of it as let this woman like do whatever she wants. Like, we're lucky she's alive.
Yeah. So true.
But a thing that was interesting in the interview article was, you know, like she talks about how she's 2 years old and she goes to her mom and is like, I want to be an actress. She says, I started in commercials when I was 11 months, but I knew my mom wasn't sure that it was right. Then when I was old enough to talk, I said to her, acting is my dream. Acting is my dream. I don't want you to think that you're doing wrong by me, by getting me an agent. I can't expect you to be sure about this coming from a 2-year-old, but please, this is all I want. And she says, I'm lucky to have a mom that supported me. And it's like, there is no way that happened, but I feel like it was something that she was told by her mother, by the adults in charge, that like, no, you wanted this. And it just like, she incepted it as her own memory. And I feel like that's kind of just indicative of maybe how she approaches a lot of her childhood, where the things that people told her, she's just like, whether she knows she's doing it or not, is just like, okay, I'm just going to take that as truth because that actually sounds nicer than figuring out what was really happening.
Which I do think is like a common thing that happens with lore with child stars.
Yes.
You get told something so much and then you like become this like, you know, clapping monkey where you just are told to repeat things over and over and over and over. I was singing in my hairbrush. I just couldn't stop singing into my hairbrush. They told me to stop performing and I said no, like all that bullshit. And then you start to believe it and it becomes your own lore about yourself. Like, you know, I think that that's like a real common thing. And
well, it was in the Raven Simone. She came to us and she said, this is how I want to spend the rest of my life. And we're like, well, we can't argue with this 4-year-old.
When she plays pretend, she gets in her Corvette, pretends to be driving to work. Excuse me. That has not left me. Like, I literally can't shake that. The image of her pretending to drive to the studio in her Corvette. But I also just wanted to mention, you earlier mentioned Karina, and You Must Remember This. And she did a incredible, I would say, in all the podcasts I've ever listened to, it's got to be top 5 episodes ever.
Yeah.
Her 90s Lolita deep dive. So each episode she explored like a different Lolita. And she talked about Liv Tyler and just like she went down the whole Alicia Silverstone, like anyone that you can think of. And Drew's episode was so interesting because, first of all, we have to take into account that during this time Basic Instinct had just come out. And the world basically revolves around Basic Instinct at this point. Like, the erotic thriller is the thing. It is the moment. It's all anybody cares about. Everybody wants to make one. Sharon Stone is like being put through absolute hell. This woman is tied to the back of a car and being drugged through rocks, basically, for starring in this movie. And so it's the perfect time for this vehicle to launch Drew. You know, we're all doing the sexual thriller thing. But Drew's Lolita thing is interesting because it's like, if you think about it, if every woman who's been a Lolita, if it all hinges on like specific things, right? Drew's literally hinges on the fact that we did know her as a little girl. And
oh God, Troy. Yeah.
It's undeniable. I know, it's undeniable. It's like,
no,
she's the little girl that the world and that Hollywood has been peeling her clothes off of her little by little her entire life and seeing how far they can get. And the fact that it's like she's finally doing it. Like, there's no more tease. There's no more whatever. She's finally doing the sex thing. And it's like, she's being served on a silver platter. And it's just like really sick.
Well, in the TV Guide article, the interviewer refers to her as Gertie throughout the whole thing.
I can't.
It's so, and then she has this moment. I saw Karina tweeting about it, which is why I had to find it so I could see the full quote. But it's, even now with her part in Malibu, which is the TV show, she continues to toy with the Lolita image. And last month, Drew sent out more sexual shockwaves when she appeared in an avant-garde magazine layout lying nude in the grass with her boyfriend and a dog and frolicking in a swimming pool with other teenage girls, leaving her sexual preferences open to interpretation. Drew, with arrogance that can come only from being 17 and on her own for so long, brushes off criticism. Who cares what people think, she says. No one really knows who I am anyway. I want to keep them guessing. So I recalled one youngster's response to the magazine that I'd brought home in a research package. Quote, when my son saw those photos, I said, he was shocked. Is that Gertie, Mom? He asked. What happened to her? Why is she so weird? Suddenly, Hollywood's new Lolita is silent. A tear springs to her eyes. She's wounded. For a moment, her shield, tempered by more brutality than most adults will ever witness, has been penetrated. Yikes, is all she can say. It takes her a few moments to compose herself. Gertie, she sighs, what a burden to be America's apple dumpling, especially when I really had no idea who I was then. Everybody thought I wore a banner that said cuteness. I was everybody's sweet little sister, and now when they see me doing something Gertie wouldn't do, they can't accept it. I will say, TV Guide has some surprising banger interviews.
Yeah. They do. We got to do more TV Guides.
I know. Like, I know that we did one once and the numbers on that one weren't great, but it was one of my favorite episodes because people see TV Guide and they're like, what? But it's like, no, there's some shit in there.
Yeah. If you haven't listened to that, who was even in it? What was that episode about?
I think it was Cher on the cover, but we were talking, it was Cher when Believe came out. And then it was also Sex and the City.
Yeah. That's a good episode. You guys really should go listen to that.
Yeah.
But no, like, first of all, the obsession with them mentioning her E.T. character when they talk about her addiction, her drug use, like her rehab, they always mention her as Gertie. And it's like, again, it just further proves my point that it's like Drew's brand of Lolita is so different than anyone that you can really think of. Like, it's like less in the Alicia Silverstone category because Alicia became a celebrity, at least as like a teenager, which isn't really any better, but she wasn't a literal baby.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it more so leans ironically in like a Britney kind of Lolita thing where it's like, no, we've known you since you were a little girl. And like, we've been positioning you to be this Lolita your whole life. Like, you know, when you go back and you look at those interviews of her being asked about if she's a boyfriend and like, you know, and there's this clip going viral right now on the internet of like an old, like, I don't know, one of those like VH1 Driven or one of those old like biography shows where they're talking about Britney as a 10-year-old and saying that she was sexy and like basically she used her sex appeal manipulatively even at 10. And it's like, yeah, they write about Drew like that too. Like, it's a different kind of thing.
What's so crazy about that is, and you know, this is hard to hear, but like, that's how pedophiles talk about children. So it's so crazy to know that there are what you would think would be aware, thoughtful adults, like, you know, writers, interviewers, not realize women not understanding that sounds insane, like it's so inappropriate, and like it's wild.
Were you a Poison Ivy girl? Did you like Poison Ivy?
I have seen it, but it was one of those things where I had seen it just like on TV.
Yeah.
In pieces. Like, I don't really have a strong, like, I can remember pieces of the movie, but I don't have a strong like recollection of it. I haven't seen it in many years.
It was definitely a TV, like, it was just like always on like TBS, like TNT in USA, and like, you know, maybe late at night on HBO or something. But it was like one of those movies that was just always on TV.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't have like I was such a Fatal Attraction, Basic Instinct girl. Like, I loved like an adult woman in my sexual thrillers. Like,
sure,
I liked a broad, you know. I wasn't really into the like Lolita thing, even though I did love I loved this movie, and I loved like The Babysitter. Like, I liked that subgenre of like tawdry, naughty teenage girl. You know what I mean? Can't be trusted with her budding sexuality. Like, I liked that subgenre, but I wasn't like crazy about I don't know. I feel like it would be more on brand for me to have been just like Poison Ivy crazy, but yeah, I wasn't like super hardcore into it. I really just loved fucking Basic Instinct.
Yeah, I have to see the movie now, like, with an adult mind. Like, I wonder if I would be into it. Like,
I think that you would,
removing the Lolita aspect of it and just, you know, whatever, putting that in its own context. I'm also surprised I wasn't more into it because I was such a Sarah Gilbert head and I was a huge Drew head.
I think you'd like it more now because it's like there's a lot of which they talk about this article, but there's a lot of lesbian undertones that they try to like not acknowledge, and like in the press tour, like they bring it up, but they will never explicitly say that it's like a love story about a woman. It's clearly a story about Sarah Gilbert being in love with Drew Barrymore, like, obviously. But they just like didn't want to go there.
Well, it's interesting in the interview, they're talking about that aspect of it, and then Drew says something like, "Oh, it's always frustrating to me because Sarah, like, I just want to be touchy and like be all over her, and she doesn't want me to." And I'm like, yeah, probably because she actually likes this, and it's like this.
It's like burning her skin when you touch it. It's like hurting her. Yeah, they say in Poison Ivy, a major part of the plot is that Ivy's friendship with Cooper, played by Sarah Gilbert. In your own life, have you ever had really tight relationships with a female friend? Are you gay? As she's like licking female nipples on this cover, they're like, have you ever done anything like that? She says, it's funny that you asked that question because the usual question is the matter of the supposed lesbianism between the two characters, when in reality it has nothing to do with lesbianism. In this case, making out with Cooper was actually one of Ivy's tricks, but they do have a very strong loving friendship in the beginning, which a lot of girls really want to have. I love to cuddle and giggle in bed with my friend Melissa. She is always supportive and gives me great advice, but she's very distant affection-wise. And sometimes I get frustrated with her because I want to put my arm around her and hug her and do all the girly stuff. Drew wants to sit really close. But that's on brand though, because at this time in the erotic thriller, like the trope is that the whoever the queer person is, they're evil, vindictive, can't be trusted. Like if you look at I think her name is Rocky in Basic Instinct, she's like, the nasty, evil, bisexual slut whore that needs to be murdered at some point,
Yeah. I mean, I feel like is the only erotic thriller that doesn't have the sort of gay evil tie. Is there anything other than Bound?
Where you mean like where there's a gay person included but they're not evil?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
So we got one.
I actually don't think so. Like I really don't. They really did not like gay people in those movies. It's like they did, but as like the most cliche sexual trope, like.
But I do also wonder with stuff like that, how many of the movies maybe didn't have an ending or whatever where they end up being evil, and then the studio says like, oh, well, we actually have to have her die, or she has to do this or whatever, to sort of close the circle on the morality, like they are punished in the end. Because
I think Wild Things does that.
I think so too.
Because I know that, well, in that case, like Kevin Bacon and Matt Dillon were supposed to like run off together at the end.
Yes. Oh my God. Okay, that's why I'm thinking of it, because it was that movie.
Yeah, that would have been it. Yeah, because then Kevin Bacon would have been the evil bisexual, who in the end it's like, nah, he just was in love with that. But they like again weren't brave enough to go there.
Yeah, I think maybe I learned about that, and you must remember this.
What I would have given. There was supposed to be like a jerk off shower scene with Matt and Kevin Bacon. What? Oof. That movie already did a number on me.
Can you imagine if
it would have turned me into an actual incel? Like it would have like geared me straight and made me the literal worst version of myself.
That's why they had to cut it. They were like, this is too much for the young gay boys of America. This is irresponsible.
Cut to me in middle school going to Hollywood Video to purchase that with my money. Just this, please.
And these tissues.
For my runny nose.
I've got allergies.
I accidentally steal the movie because I'm so scared. Are there any other like Bruce Weber photo shoots that you like?
Well, there's the Leo one. I love that.
Is that the best?
It's so good. Oh,
why is that so good? I literally think it might be my favorite pictures of him ever taken. Wow. Yeah. Bruce Weber is like, he's such a talented creep. Like, he's such a fucking creep. But he's so good. I can't get over it.
Well, so all of his sexual misconduct allegations revolved around young men. And I was just, looking into his stuff, and he did I think it might have been a short film, and it stars Tobey Maguire. I think it was in like 94
Of course it does.
or something. And I was just like, oh, yeah. What happened there?
Yeah. Of course it stars. If it ain't Toby, it's Leo. God, Hollywood's favorite twinks of all time, Tobey Maguire and Leo.
God, the stories they have.
I mean, they're like the equivalent of like knowing where the nukes are. Like they have the button to the nukes. Like
they have the football.
Yeah. Like Leo knows some things about some people who did some things.
And he's a lockbox.
I know. You gotta be.
I guess so, if you ever want to work again.
He's like, just put my name on whatever fucking global warming shit and leave me alone and send me my plane, please.
Yeah. Let me hang out with Jeff Bezos in peace.
Seriously. And they complain about carbon footprint while taking a plane to different cities.
Leo, come on, you're getting lazy.
Leo will fly 20 minutes in a private jet.
He's like, but don't you guys do it. It's bad for the environment.
Oh my God. Damn, reading this has made me, I really think that the next time we hang out, we should watch Poison Ivy. We should just have a erotic thriller night.
Let's do it. That sounds fun. You've seen so many more than I have, so I need you to maybe curate a couple of your faves that I haven't seen.
I know what you'll like. Have you seen The Hand That Rocks the Cradle?
Oh, no. And that I've always wanted to see that. You've mentioned it before, and I keep, and every time I'm like, what was it that he told me? Yes, I need to watch that.
That's the one that we'll watch. Young Julianne Moore, not famous yet. Oh
my.
Smoking. I know.
Oh my God. If
Redhead.
It were enough and she's smoking.
Dara, she's fiery red. She's chain smoking. Her lips are just pure Julianne Moore. They're just always parted, always like, just, I mean, she's just like, she's ball busting. So good.
My queen. Yeah. What are your other favorite Drew Barrymore movies?
I love Riding in Cars with Boys for personal reasons.
Do you? Oh my God, yeah, the teen mom of it all.
The teen mom of it all. I really love that movie. Here, let's bring up Drew's IMDb.
God, I remember seeing that movie and being so mad that she's about to leave Steve Zahn.
Yeah.
And then her dad's like, no, you stick with your husband. And it just like after that point in the movie, I was just so mad.
It's fucked.
Ugh.
I actually just watched this whole thing about Ever After. Ooh. And about the costumes and how like unique the costume design was for that movie, because it's so incredibly accurate. Like it's a level of detail that like you just don't see in movies. Yeah. And I think that's so underrated, that movie.
I was obsessed with that movie. I always wanted to be her with the wings for Halloween.
Oh, it's so good. Oh.
Never Been Kissed was my like favorite movie for a very long time. I've seen it because it was on all the time. It was like that and She's All That was just like on 24 hours a day. So yeah. I've just seen that movie 1 million times. And then as I got older, I was like, this is actually the most insane movie of all time.
It is. Yeah. I was going to say it is like a really
it's like Busy Phillips's ex-husband wrote it. But it's just so, it's like, yeah, we just have this 25-year-old going to class and she's just hanging out with everybody.
Wait, have you seen Mad Love?
Wait, what is that?
So Mad Love is her and Chris O'Donnell. And she is Dara. If there is a like moving dictionary, when you type in manic pixie dream girl, Drew Barrymore in Mad Love, it's like her opening scene is her like driving up erratically in a Volkswagen Beetle and it's covered in shit, and she gets out and kicks it because that damn thing never runs, you know, and she's got crazy hair and like she's just, but the movie revolves around her having bipolar.
Oh my God. Yes.
So her manic pixie dream girl is tied to her actually just being a girl that has bipolar disorder, and it is so good. It's so good.
I think I've at least seen parts of this movie. I feel like there's so many Drew Barrymore movies that they're just like on TV or something. What was it? Have you ever seen Home Fries?
Yeah. Yeah, I like home fries.
And
I know
that's
it's
another
bad.
yeah. That's another one. That's a huge blockbuster movie to me in
Yes.
the sense of I just remember seeing that cover every time it was at Blockbuster, and it just like
Yes.
always like getting to
Her,
me like ooh.
her orange ringlet
Hurt
curl.
those, yeah, I don't know. I was just so preoccupied with red hair back then before I could actually dye it myself. I was just like, I'd see a redhead.
Also, Boys on the Side.
Oh, Boys on the Side.
Chef's Kiss.
That's a good one.
Come on. Like, she's my favorite brand. Like, she's my personal favorite brand of Manic Pixie Dream Girl. I like Drew's kind of Manic Pixie Dream Girl.
Yeah, because it does feel the most authentic.
Yeah, like it's like pouring out of her. Like she's not putting it on. It's not like like Kirsten Dunst has had random moments of that, like Crazy Beautiful. You could say she was giving Manic Pixie Dream Girl, right?
Yeah.
But Drew gives it whether she likes it or not. Like, even if she's trying not to, she's still giving Manic Pixie Dream Girl. Like, she's Manic Pixie Dream Girl as the fucking teacher in Donnie Darko. Like, she just can't help it.
Yeah, I think it's different than something like Kirsten in that movie, because it's Kirsten is her manic pixiness feels a little bit more like Maury Povich when they would do the she's a teen slut, she's 12 years old, and like whereas Drew feels like the actual, like when I think of manic pixie, like she has the pixie aspect of it. Yes. And I feel like very often we don't have the pixie. She has the manic and the pixie.
Mm-hmm.
Where, you know, I guess people used to say like what Zooey Deschanel in 500 Days of Summer, that was a manic pixie dream girl.
Yes. And that is some people's like, you know, that's a big brand, like a big brand of manic pixie dream girl. People love that.
But to me, it's not what I really think of as a true manic pixie dream girl, because I don't think that Zoe ever had the manic part of it.
I agree. To me, that's just twee. That's not manic.
Just, the other one was, what was the movie? Am I Thinking of the Right Thing? I remember like when I first heard about this sort of the manic pixie dream girl, the conversation, I remember it was surrounding, I think it was a movie with Richard Gere, and was it Winona Ryder, or it was Charlize Theron, which I know are two very disparate people, but it was like one of the girl has cancer or something. And I remember that was one of the earlier conversations about a manic pixie dream girl. I could also be conflating two movies.
Oh, that's going to bother me. Is it Autumn in New York?
Yes.
It is?
Yes. I knew it was like a month or a season.
I can't believe I found it.
Incredible. Yeah, romantic drama about an aging playboy who falls for a sweet but terminally ill young woman. And she like teaches him how to love.
Yeah, I guess there's just like certain, what I'm realizing is that there's just like certain kinds of manic pixie dream girl that aren't my, I guess kind of the same as like there being like different kinds of rom-com girlies. Like some people are Reese Witherspoon girlies. Some people are Julia girls. I'm a Julia girl. Some people are Kate Hudson girls. And like in the manic pixie dream girl thing, yeah, like I'm not a Zooey Deschanel. I know that like Natalie Portman and Garden State fucking blew the lid off that shit. Like
that is
if
true.
you were a millennial in the early 2000s, like she was just every guy's like, I like classy girls. I love Natalie Portman.
Yeah.
I guess my OG, now listen, touchy subject, but my OG manic pixie dream girl is Annie Hall. is Diane Keaton.
Oh, of course. Of course.
That
No,
stuttering.
she is. But I will say, if you really put a gun to the old noggin, I'm gonna say Drew Barrymore, because I do think that she really encapsulates the entire moniker.
I do too.
And she is, of all of those actresses, what's interesting is none of those actresses, except for perhaps Winona Ryder, none of them are actually like that in real life. Like, Zoe is just, Zoe feels like a very responsible lady. Natalie Portman, you know, these are all pretty with it together gals. I can't imagine Natalie Portman out and about going, well, has anyone ever done this before in this place?
I 1000% agree. And you're totally right. It's a mix of, sometimes the mania is missing. And it's like, that's the whole thing. Like I would almost say, as if a million people have said this, but like, Clementine in oh my god, it's gonna bother me. Eternal Sunshine.
Okay.
Hello.
Yes. Oh my god, yeah.
She's got the manic part so down, and like the pixie is like an afterthought. Like the hair and stuff.
Yes.
And like her being flighty. But like the mania is such a big part of the Manic Pixie Dream Girl. Which, yeah, we're gonna also watch Mad Love. Because it's like literally a movie breaking down the Manic Pixie Dream Girl, where it's like, oh, her mania is mental health issues. Okay.
Yeah.
So she's not just like, she doesn't just walk around being zany and like sitting on counters and, you know, pulling gum out of her mouth and like being kooky all the time. Like she's actually struggling with something, you know?
Oh, and it is so interesting when you think about it that way, how the Manic Pixie Dream Girl is romanticized in movies, but also just by men in general, where it's like, oh yeah, you get to see this one tight hour and a half of this kooky lady, but guess what, mister? If you really stuck with her for the long haul, like this behavior you won't be finding cute and adorable. It will just be like real life, where you have to make sure she's still taking her meds.
That's exactly, that's what it is. Like that movie is very much like, what would it be like if a movie about a Manic Pixie Dream Girl lingered on her for too long?
I love that.
If the camera stayed on her beyond the scene where she like trips over her feet and gets up really cute and like gets in her Volkswagen, but then she goes home and has like a low point and spirals and maybe self-harms or whatever. Like, it's like, what happens when the Manic Pixie Dream Girl is like not being cute?
Yeah.
And what that mania looks like, and like,
and when you as the male love interest aren't being centered at every step of the way, and like you're learning how to live through her, and it's like you're living hard and having fun because this is a manic episode.
You're on an actual roller coaster, sir.
Yeah, that's why it feels so good, but just wait until you've gone through 3 or 4 cycles of these.
Right.
This is actually real life.
You should have seen me watching that movie like too young and being like, I want bipolar. And I'm gonna get it. If it's the last thing I do, I will be bipolar. I thought it was so cool.
You're like licking like bus seats, like trying to catch bipolar.
Be like, Mom, you're such a bitch. Just give me bipolar.
Please, Mom. I don't ask for anything.
Why won't you just give it to me? You're going to love it. You are going to love. It's one of her best. Oh, also Grey Gardens. We can't end this episode without talking about Grey Gardens.
Oh, I mean, when the Manic Pixie Dream Girl grows up.
Hello. Hello.
When the male love interest doesn't actually want a human being, a
Yeah.
360 human being, 3D, and she has to go live at home with her mother who passed down that mental illness. That's the manic pixie dream woman.
What happens when the manic pixie dream girl doesn't pay her utility bills
When she
and
becomes
loses all her
unfuckable.
becomes unfuckable, like has no skills because her entire life has only been trained to like attract men, and every skill she has requires her to like be young. It's like you can walk a runway, you can lead the planes to the whatever with the flags, like all of her skills are like you know, who would have ever thought in a million years that she was born to play that role. Like she was born to play Little Edie.
But then when you see it, you're like, of course.
Duh. Yeah, it's like so.
Absolutely.
Like, who would get that accent better than, of all people, Drew Barrymore? Like, come on.
Oh God, do you still watch her show at all?
I'll watch when there's somebody on there that I care about, but
yeah.
It does make me uncomfortable. I'll say it.
I'm kind of in that way surprised that it's still on the air because, I mean, I don't know if there's any two people like that show is made for more.
I know.
Like appreciating her kookiness and everything and loving morning television, but
yeah,
I will watch it and I'll be like, I can't do it. Like
I want to so bad. I want to like it so bad.
But I just feel like you can feel the guest clamming up when she gets right in their face and is touching them so much. Which does harken back to the article where she's like, I just want to be like on top of everyone all the time.
Yeah, I know. I know. Did I tell you when I went to one of the tapings?
No.
I went to a taping of Drew. It was maybe like 2 years ago now, or a year ago, and it was like everything you think. Like it was amazing to just be in that tiny little room with Drew Barrymore all morning. But it's everything that you think it is. Like in between filming. First of all, when she came out, when they were like getting her ready and doing her hair and makeup and stuff, she came up on the risers and just sat with us. Like she sat with the audience, like kept moving around and sitting and talking to us and like sitting right in front of people's faces. And like she was so intimate with the audience. In between breaks and shit, she like cries with people. Like in that 30 seconds, like she has full on conversations with everybody in the audience. And at one point, when the show was over, the taping was finished, and she came and she sat on the floor in front of us with her legs crossed. And she was like just talking about the day that she had and like how grateful she was to see people there. She started crying. Like it was so crazy. I was like, that's Drew Barrymore. And she's fucking sitting there on the floor right in front of me, like crying. And I'm just like,
I feel like that is the only worthwhile live taping to go to.
Yeah. As a girl who has like an addiction to live tapings, I will tell you it is. Like, seriously.
Yeah. Because live tapings are, they're long and it's not that interesting. But that is a moment that's actually like, you're not going to be able to watch that back on television. That is just for you.
Yeah, and they treated us very well. Those live tapings, they treat the audience usually like kind of bad and like, you're just like cattle. It's like they haul you in and fill up the seats and then they get you the fuck out of there and they're not nice and you get treated like shit and it's 7 a.m. and you don't know who the show is gonna be. But that was actually like a really, really, really good taping. Like she was incredible, and it was for Megan. So she like dressed up as Megan, and like she was doing all the shit, like she was doing all these like these like, what are they filming, like the weekly promo, you know, like the commercials.
Yeah.
And she was like, "Hi, I'm Megan. Make sure you watch this week's episode." Like she was pretending to be Megan, and like she was doing like the running thing, and like it was so crazy. And Allison Williams was on, and her and Allison were like doing Megan drag. Like it was great.
I feel like that episode was made for you.
I know. I was like, Megan? She was like, "You know her. You love her. We all love Megan."
I feel like if you had put a little elbow grease in, you could have walked away from that taping with Drew's number.
I know, Dara. I'm not kidding you. I do know that.
Yeah.
I really feel like the only thing that stood between me and her was the staff, but I would have literally, like, I would have left in a suit with a tie on, like one of her suits, in full Drew drag, like talking like her. We would have been soul sisters.
I feel like there must be someone on the staff who's just there to make sure that she doesn't like start bringing home a stray audience member.
Yeah. They do have a thing in her clause, which I've never seen because I've gone to so many tapings where they were like, you can't come back within a year. Like you have to wait an entire year to the day to come back here.
That's interesting.
I know.
And you've never seen that before?
No, I used to go to The View like every week. And I've never seen that. I was like, you can't come back for a year for a free taping? We're not being paid.
Oh my God. Because like, God forbid Drew recognizes, like you literally would just have to go, you know, once a quarter. And by the end of the year, you know, you're getting invited to Thanksgiving.
No, literally. They have to like chemically cut Drew's emotional attachment to the audience. Like it takes that time for the chemicals to die.
She doesn't log memories after a full calendar year. Like it just washes out. So they're like, okay, it's safe. You can come back.
Listen, if you watch the video of how she handled seeing her stalker, it tells you everything that you need to know about like her stalker walking towards her and her going, "Hi." And it's like, that guy just tried to kill you before.
I have a question.
Oh.
Now, it's like, of course we love her and she's a kind of kook that, you know, you and I could make a meal out of hanging out with, you know, like we're not afraid of a kook. But is she someone who, after the shine sort of wears off, that like you're hanging out with Drew Barrymore, does it become like, okay, that like I can't do this anymore?
I want to say yes. I don't want to say yes. I can't. I don't know if I can bring myself to say yes. I don't think publicly I can do it. No, you know what I think it is?
We can't publicly say it because we still want it to happen to us.
I know. I'm like, if she hears this and hears that I said I couldn't hang out for a long periods of time, then she'll want to cut our time short.
No, if any of us ever get within spitting distance of Drew Barrymore, from now on, I will scrub this episode.
No, fully. No, this is what I think it is. And I'm not just making excuses. And I think that you'll agree with me. I actually think that you got to be the right kind of person. And it's all based on interests and like we would talk about movies and like niche things and music and like we would have so much shit in common. And she's a foodie.
Yes.
So it's like, and us girl, like the way that we talk, we would be fucking talking our asses off for 10 straight hours in a hot tub with her.
Oh my God. It's so true. And she's someone with an endless amount of stories. So, and I've seen this within myself when I'm talking to someone who I'll find out later everyone finds annoying or whatever and is, you know, this person's like a pain in the ass with no boundaries. I will not notice that until they've run out of all of their stories. And then I'm like, oh, seeing the real human being. And then I'm like, okay, yeah, I see what everyone's talking about. So it would take a very long time for us to get to that point where we're like
Yeah.
All the stories are gone, and now we just see the traumatized wildflower beneath.
Exactly. Yeah. The weed that lies beneath the lily.
Yeah.
And I also think that you and I both, like, my love language is like being mothered. Like, I love having like a mommy. So I
Troy.
don't think I care about that touchy-feely shit. Like, I think
that wouldn't bother me at all.
not at all. Like, I'd be linked limbs, toes, fingers. We'd be curled up. It'd be like that movie Together. Our skin fusing.
We would skip into her home and she would just like extend both arms and we'd nestle in and be like, "Hello, Mommy Drew."
Mm-hmm. And she'd be like, "Okay, I made charcuterie and there's wine and I'm not drinking, but that's fine." And she'd have a whole thing laid out and she'd be so hospitable
Oh.
and she'd love the gift we bring. Like, I just see it.
I do too. I'm sorry I even brought up the question because I want to be adopted by her.
Me too. To some who don't get it, I understand that they would be put off by her, though. Like, I get it. I get it.
100%. And we would become, very territorial of her. We would protect her from the outside world that, the people who are there to mooch off of her. We are different. Right. We are her children.
This is us describing the erotic thriller that turns into her life. It's like we start like wedging her child away. We're like, you don't need her anymore. She's annoying, right?
She keeps like asking for money for like lunch. Like, can she go out and make your own?
Take care of yourself, little girl. Mommy was at Studio 54 at your age. Oh my God. Well, Dara, do you have any closing thoughts about Drew or this article or Manic Pixie Dream Girls or whatever?
Oh gosh, I suppose not. I mean, I guess we were talking, I think off mic about the photo shoot, and it is like you posting it and someone pointing out like, hey, she was 17. So I guess the question is ethically, like I'm just thinking about editing this episode even and just like ethically, can I put these things on screen?
I think as long as we cover naughty bits, it's fine. The pictures are unfortunately so famous. Like, it has to be one of her most famous. The irony of that, it's like, of course, it's like one of her most famous photo shoots. I think as long as we covered the naughtiness, because she's nude. Yeah. Like, she is nude, which is crazy.
Yeah. I'll put like, I'll Photoshop little bathing suits on her. So it doesn't even, she won't even feel naked.
Just like old Uncle Steven did back in the day.
Yeah. What about you, Troy? Anything left in that old noggin of yours?
No, just that I'm going to get working on our movie night list, which I'm excited about. And yeah, also I guess like what are other people listening to this? What are your favorite like Drew moments, movies, articles? There's just so many books, whatever. Like, I know she's like coffee table book that's really people talk about. Yeah, what's your favorite Drew Barrymore shit?
Yeah. Give it to us.
Give it to us, love
it. Mama. Oh, actually. Oh, wait. I actually do have a letter to the editor.
Okay. Yes.
And it's very relevant because it's about our previous episode. And I will warn you, Troy, we were humbled in this. This says, "Dear editors, I love the podcast and look forward to it every week. Writing in as a former figure skater after listening to the Nancy Kerrigan episode. I competed from age 5 to 17. My friend Chad was Will Ferrell's skate double in Blades of Glory, and my friend Juliana was the goth skater in Ice Princess. First off, if you want horror stories, I highly recommend the book Little Girls in Pretty Boxes. It tells so many behind-the-scenes stories about gymnasts and skaters. I don't think it is in print anymore, but I bet Amazon has used copies. The crazy skating parents are truly like no other. I witnessed verbal abuse and borderline physical abuse, controlling and limiting food. My best friend's mom kicked a hole in the wall of their house when she had a bad skate once. The pressure is insane. My coaches were great, but not all were. One coach at my rink in Boston was so beyond verbally abusive. I witnessed her making one specific girl cry on numerous occasions who was one of the sweetest girls I've ever met. I am so thankful my coaches were not like that. I still keep in touch with them to this day, and every time I was back in Mass while they were still coaching, I would visit them at the rink. Skating as a whole can be cutthroat. Changing the judging system helped a lot with fairness, but it also made it less fun to watch because everyone does all the same things due to point values. My best friends in the world are still the people I skated with. We are in the trenches together. Now, to address today's episode, haha. Saying Nancy wasn't a good skater and Tanya was better. Nancy was phenomenal. She's a bitch. But she was phenomenal. Tanya was good, but Tanya was so inconsistent. She'd skate flawlessly maybe one time out of 50. She mostly fell or double jumps constantly. Could she do one harder jump? Yes. Nancy couldn't do a triple axel, but Nancy landed everything almost every time. Her bombing at the World Championships the year before the Olympics and getting 5th was a complete shock because she was so consistently good. Painting the narrative that Tanya was better is complete insanity. People just hate Nancy's personality so much and feel so bad for Tanya's personal life that they just project it onto the skating aspect, and it drives me completely insane. And I'll take it further. Nancy should have beat Oksana in 1994. Was Oksana a prettier skater? Yes. Was Nancy better? Also yes. The judges were so sick of Nancy's media coverage that they purposely placed her second as punishment. If they used today's scoring, Nancy would win in a landslide. Yes, Nancy doubled a jump. So did Oksana. Nancy also did multiple combination jumps, a triple toe, and a triple sow cow double toe. Oksana did only one, the easiest she could do, a double axel double toe, and she fell out of it, so it wasn't even technically completed. Oksana also two-footed many of her jumps. Nancy was technically so much better than Oksana, and it's criminal she lost. I can't stand her as a person, but she earned that damn gold, and it's a crime they didn't give it to her. And that is from Jenny Lee Skate, and that was on a YouTube comment.
First of all, the mere mention of Oksana Bayul just gave me goosebumps.
I know.
And I eat that. Like, I will eat crow on that one because I do remember the way that my family talked about Nancy was totally some hating people with like everywhere and people being haters. Like, and a lot of that probably fed like into my little brain, you know?
I mean, listen, I was talking about it in the episode. My mom hated Nancy Kerrigan, which also doesn't make any sense to me because Nancy's from Massachusetts. My mom is from Massachusetts. We lived in New Hampshire. I'm in New Hampshire as we speak. So I'm surprised she wasn't like, oh, hometown hero. But yeah, it does suck that kind of her legacy is a little bit forgotten because she kind of like came off as a certain type of like stuck up person that I'm sure today with different eyes, we wouldn't kind of fuck her over like that.
It's so much projection.
Like,
it's so like, you know, it's like, she's too good at being a marketable athlete. God forbid. Like, you know what I mean? And if you think about, like, it's like nobody would ever say anything like that about, like, Michael Jordan. He's just annoying. You know?
He's just, I don't know. There's something about him. He's, like, really stuck up. Like, there's no No man on earth was more stuck up than Michael Jordan. No one had any problem with that.
Right. You had Dennis Rodman like raising hell and like fucking Carmen Electra in their locker room against everybody's will, and nobody says anything about that. But Nancy Kerrigan is like too cheerful, and people are like, "Bitch, stuck up, bitch, get back in your place.
You deserve that little kneecap,
whining bitch." My computer's gonna die, and I can't find my charger, so I have to land the plane. I gotta land it.
We gotta land the plane, baby. Well, thank you so much for writing in, and if you want to comment, questions, complaints, corrections, leave us a letter to the editor, wherever you can find us, but most preferably a 5-star review on Apple. And we love you so much. All of you at home.
Listen to us on Patreon because we're doing full episodes there too.
Yes. We have a Katie Holmes Scientology episode. Okay, bye.
And it was really good. Okay, bye.
Bye.